everybody. Brooke here. I know that it's been a long time doing this. It's been a long time coming. We got a dear friend who supports my page, and I supported him like when he used to be the insider. He is the horse of war. He is the red rock, Scott Patterson.
So yeah,
Hello.
so the horse of war is a dying gimmick. It's phasing out. I'm getting rid of it. I'm doing a lot with my tag partner Hawk Thomas, who I've been tagging with for just over a year now. We've recently joined forces with Christian Valor. I know you guys have seen him down in the Gulf a few times. We've formed the faction known as Legion.
Legion, okay.
Each one of us comes from a different background as far as fighting styles and technicalities and abilities. Me being the military one, and of course, you know my Odinistic beliefs. So I come from the Norse background, uh, representing the wolf, Fenrir. Uh, and then you have Hawk, who is this big, brutal technician, is his moniker. He's our grizzly bear. And then you have Christian Valor, who is the never say die, never give up type. That is the heart of a lion, and so he is our faction leader. We call him the Lion, just because of the drive that he has, and the charisma that pushes behind him. So with this new faction, we're reaching out, we're expanding, we're taking bookings. As of now, we're actively seeking bookings. I know I've talked to you earlier in the week about the Pensacola and Panhandle area.
Yeah.
I've reached out to Diamond Championship Wrestling over in the Mississippi area. I've reached out to AWA and AWF down that way about coming back down and wrestling in the Gulf. I really enjoy those crowds down there, and I know that Christian and Hawk both would enjoy it as well. Christian's done a lot of shows out towards I want to say Pensacola and Pascagoula, and so he's bounced back and forth, just hitting different shows that I've hit. We've collectively decided that you got the Mississippi working ethic, you got the Alabama work ethic, and you got the Georgia work ethic, and all three of us come together and said, hey, you know what? Let's put our minds together and let's go on tour. Let's hit the roads again and branch out. This every weekend working one show, working the same place is getting old, and we're stepping out of our comfort zone, and we're going above and beyond to one, provide quality entertainment for the fans that come to the shows, and two, provide valuable assets to these companies that need it. So.
I bet I think it's funny you brought about AWA because that was, correctly, that was the first promotion that I met you and you, Jay, and the New Religion, and that the whole downward and the whole craziness that has been.
Well, not to give out any spoilers, Jay and I have talked quite a bit over the last few months. When he found out that I was coming back into wrestling, the conversation started about, one last hoorah, one last final ride with the New Religion. So that's definitely going to happen. It's going to happen actually quite soon. I'll let Legato Vaughn, as he's going, I'll let him reveal the details and put the major spoiler out there, but it's definitely going to happen. And I couldn't have asked for somebody better to kind of give me that lead into tag team wrestling, to give me that lead into character development, as far as who I've become now. I was somebody different when we met at AWA, and the development from then till now is, that's 4 years.
Yeah.
That was 4 years ago, because right after the show that I met you is when I tore my
MCL. Oh, really? I didn't realize that happened in the match.
It was right after that show. I worked in Oxford at Out of This World Wrestling as part of Out of This World Ministries. Um, I hit a basic hip toss on Sean Nelson, and I felt my knee pop 3 times in sequence. Went to the doctor, had a torn MCL. I was on the shelf that year for 6 or 7 months. So it was that year was rough for me, but that was 4 years ago. It came up on my news feed 2 weeks ago. It was 4 years ago, and recently, and you mentioned that I'm coming back to wrestling. Recently I had some health issues, had some health scares for myself, and I had my wife has had some health issues, and then we've had a baby boy. His name's Jasper Odin. He's actually in the bed asleep now. He'll be 4 months old on the 6th.
How crazy is that? It's already 4 months.
Just since January, life has been so hectic. My gym schedule has taken a turn for the worse, but I'm getting back in it. I've got a whole new plan to go back to that. So this whole concept of coming back into wrestling, it was scary, it was nerve wracking, and now that I'm back, there's the same fire that I had 6-7 years ago when I first started in this business, and I couldn't be more excited for what the future is going to hold. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of we've seen a lot of the VCW. That was an interesting run.
Right. And that was the pinnacle of the new religion era of myself and Legato Bond. That was the pinnacle. We won most hated tag team of the year at the VCW awards. We've done so many different things with VCW that I didn't think was even possible. I actually retired Damon Taz, which you met Damon Taz at VCW when you came up. We did some tag team stuff with Team Redeemed. We did some tag team stuff with Aiden Miles and Brock Garvin, who are no longer actually right now. Legato and Aiden are tag teaming together.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, "What? That was a huge shift right there."
It's crazy. Me and Brock work one of the same shows together in Gadsden at Spartan, and it's kind of crazy how the circles come around. But I retired Damon Taz, and I didn't even realize that I had retired Damon Taz. We had a whole program kind of wrote out that was going to carry us into the new era of VCW because we were moving from Mumford to Gadsden with the show. And the show, started up in Gadsden, and finally I kind of took a little hiatus at that point. And when I finally come back into it, Damon Taz had stepped away. And then this year, actually, no, it was last year. It's been real recent though. Damon Taz made a post on Facebook and social media. It's like, you know what? I think this is the end of the road for professional wrestling for my career. And he made a long post, and I got to looking at it. I was literally Damon Taz's last match, and in that last match, it was a ref stoppage. The referee stopped the match because of the immense beating that I was giving to him. And then after the match, and after it was all said and done, I didn't know that was going to be the last match that Damon Taz would ever have.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking not even storyline stuff with the very last match that Damon Taz wrestled.
That would have been crazy because he was an interesting fella seeing his ring work in that night.
The mythical curtain has already been pulled. The forbidden door has been opened. We can talk. We can reveal the insider stuff that we like to talk about.
Yeah.
Damon Taz is a really good person, and 100%, I would trust that man with my life. And now that he's away from the business and look at it, and he was one of the best instructors that there has ever been for professional wrestling. When it comes to things like microphone skills and promos and character development as far as how you present yourself in a verbal sense. He was on it. He was spot on it. Now he's selling cars, spending time with his pumpkin. So Damon Taz, if you get a chance to see this, yeah, I'm hyping you up. So I appreciate you.
Yeah.
100%. Scott Patterson wouldn't have gotten this far without a few people, and Damon Taz is one.
I think one of them, like, I know my favorite moment when I first ever go to a VCW show was the one in Georgia, and that was
Yeah, Jeff Tucker. He was running. It was West Georgia Wrestling Entertainment, and then they partnered with Victory Championship Wrestling, and that became Victory Georgia. And that show that was crazy because me and Tyson Creed, Tyson.
Oh, yeah, I was about to bring up Tyson. Like, I know that he was a huge influence in your career in a way. Like that your feud with Tyson, Tyson's whole feud with New Religion basically was.
Look, Tyson put on the map, and I mean that in the most respectful way possible. He put me on the map with our feud, with the 2 or 3 matches that we had back to back. The title match where I actually won the cruiserweight title. That match is what got me booked at more shows here in Alabama. Is what got me booked at the distant travel shows to like Detroit. I hadn't been up there this year, but I usually make a once or twice a year trip to Detroit to wrestle for MDWA, and that places like that noticed me because of Tyson Creed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's and it's scary to think that a lot of the people that I'm giving this credit to are no longer in-ring competitors or performers. Tyson Creed has retired, and he is only he's only wanted to talk about coming out of retirement for one person, and you're looking at it.
Yeah.
Then you got Damon Taz, and so that's crazy. Brian Alexander was an influence on my career when I first got started, and Brian's not wrestling anymore. So it's scary to think that could have been me just a few months ago. Like I was looking in the mirror and I was thinking about it. Like, man, my time is up. Like it would 6 years is all I gave to this business. It's up. Like how are people going to remember me when I had to step away for medical reasons? And it was a scary thought to know that like I've made an impact and I've made a statement, but at the same time, it's like I haven't made a big enough impact yet. Yeah. So I started, training more and pushing my body to limits that I didn't even know I had. I was struggling here at home with my job and trying to make ends meet here because, pro wrestling don't pay everybody's bills.
Yeah.
It's the grueling reality of it. It doesn't pay everybody's bills. So I was struggling with that, struggling with the sick kid and, my health and her health. And like, there's a whole slew of things that just kind of kept crashing down on me. And I was like, well, if this is it, then, I haven't made enough of an impact. And I finally got talking to my doctor and I was like, look, I need some type of clarification. They thought that I had a tumor on my adrenal gland. And it was like, do I have cancer or are you just, what is it? And so they finally scheduled me some appointments in Birmingham. I went up, got an ultrasound done on my kidneys and on my adrenal gland. Everything come back clean. Blood work came back clean. Turns out I just got blood pressure issues. I got high blood pressure. And as soon as I got that news, I talked to my wife and I was like, look, can I do this? Can I go back? And, she's been I ain't even going to say one of, she has been my biggest supporter as far as coming back into this business and sticking to my guns and enjoying what I do. But I had to ask her, I was like, can I do this? Can I go back into it? And it was an immediate yes at that point. So I couldn't be happier with getting the answer that I needed and having the support here at home. Like there are a lot of professional wrestlers that they have zero support from the home. They have zero support from friends and family. It's just another business that goes unnoticed for their friends and family. For me, for the first time in 7 years that I've been doing this, my sister has started coming to shows with my nephew. Uh, my wife supports me 110%. My brother is coming to some shows. So I've got friends and family that have not even been professional wrestling fans that are only coming to certain shows because hey, I'm coming back, and they see how much I love it. And it sucks to know that there are pro wrestlers out there that are doing this shit on their own. Mm-hmm. They're doing it themselves because it's what they want to do. It's their drive. But at the end of the day, like if you don't have a support system, if you don't have somebody helping push you to the next level, then it takes a toll on your mental capacity.
Yeah.
It's just one of those.
Yeah, I totally understand. Like for example, because you know how much I love talking to you guys and the rest of the wrestling community, because I love professional wrestling. I love the indie scene. If I didn't have a bad knee, I would want to learn how to be an active competitor or do something more in here, like do interviews, do camera work. I don't care, whatever means to get to help out. That's why I did the idea for the spot for the insider. Is
the seminar with Casey Dillon?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I owe you for that one because that was a good seminar. Because like you just sneak me in there.
I've spoke to Casey a couple times this year. She's doing her thing, traveling. She's not doing a whole lot of in-ring wrestling right now. She's doing more refereeing. It's another one of them cases where injuries have gotten the best of her. So until she gets a medical release from doctors, she can't fully commit to wrestling and matches. Mm-hmm. So I see stuff like that. Casey Dillon's another one. Like as far as influence on my career and where I'm at today, it's having people like that in it. And while we're talking about giving people credit, I got to throw one out there for you. And we were talking about him earlier yesterday. Yeah. Vladimir Koloff.
Koloff, the big man, yes.
And it's one of those things that you want to see people succeed just out of spite of the naysayers and like the what we call the haters. Vlad Koloff is succeeding in life and in wrestling in spite of everyone. Not just people that hate on him. He's doing it in spite of people that like him. Yeah. Super talented. He's got a lot to do with a really huge amount of the Gulf Coast wrestling scene. Koloff, book you an interview, get on here with Brooke Phillips and do one of these interviews. You'll thank me later or you'll hate me later.
I know. I talked to Koloff a few times for Revolt, because he's the Revolt Tag Team Champion with the Empire, I believe. I think that's his partner. Their team name.
You talking about Charles West?
Yeah, the Pride.
The Pride, yeah. Lionheart, Charles West.
Because I know yesterday they had a match with the Unprofessionals against, I think it was Overstreet and Cameron Thomas.
Diamond had a show last night with Brian Cage and Victor Benjamin.
Yeah, I was so torn. Like there were like 3 shows on that same Saturday, and I was like, this is hard. Being a one person running I need to like either find help or find out what shows that I feel like that is close. That's why I wish I missed shows close by to Pensacola, but I do want to travel.
He's another one. Victor Benjamin needs to jump on one of these interviews too. And I'll tag his personal page when we get off of here so that he can see this.
Yeah.
I met Victor and his wife. Spoiler alert: his wife is Lady Frost.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I met them through Axe and Sledge Supplements because I was working on trying to get a show together for the demo crew. That's the sponsored athletes for Axe and Sledge Supplements, and I met both of them, and they're part of the demo crew. And I was like, hey, this Gulf Coast scene is great, and we've had a few conversations over the last couple of years. But Victor Benjamin is one of those up and coming superstars. So that's when you hear about a superstar, he's going to be one of them. He's already been on AEW Dark. So is Lady Frost. She's been on NWA Power. She did the women's NWA Power deal. She's all the time. She's all the time on Impact Wrestling. But between the two of them, that's a talent stacked household.
I probably want to get more. I think I tried to see Lady Frost in BCW, but she didn't show up because of change of card spot. But it was like, disappointed on that spot because I want to see what she's capable of, knowing she used to be on Impact, and because most of my friends are huge Impact fans, and it'd be fun to see. There's also this probably, I don't know, that was the same spot where we had the Kool-Aid moment. That was fun. Those interview spots we used to do with the New Religion. I know that New Religion kind of died off in a way, but I keep remembering that spot. Like, I drank the Kool-Aid, so.
and then Casey Dillon comes in and yeah.
Yeah, I did a whole toe takeover. And I was like,
he completely took over. But it's
I can't say no to her. She's scary.
Don't say no, and she'll just take your soul to the Dark Lord.
Yeah,
there's so much that we have accomplished as as far as me and Jay and everybody that I've like tag team with over the last few years, like even James Hardy. I tag with James Hardy when we go up to MDWA. That's who I ride with. Might as well tag with him. So we do shows up there, and everybody that I've ever tagged with, we've had good in-ring chemistry. If there's been a moment where I've been in a tag match where it's a thrown together tag match, like I had Alpha Omega Red. He's from Georgia. I actually was kind of thrown in and forced to tag with him one night, and had good in-ring chemistry together. As the saying goes, I work well with others.
Yeah, seems like it. Like for another one, I think was a good person you had a feud with. I also talked to him a lot. That is JD, our favorite Ginger.
Oh yeah, JD Rush. He's doing huge things right now. He just did Breakout Championship Wrestling.
Yeah. I'm in a group chat with him, and he was so happy and excited that he finally running his own show. Like, the hard work that he did with Bad Boy Pro finally paid off for him.
Personal vendetta with JD Rush. And I love JD as a human being, in-ring competitor. I've had more fun in matches with him than I can count. JD and I were talking one night at Bad Boy Pro, and he got to mentioning that Bad Boy Pro only had tag titles and they had a main title. They didn't have a women's title, and they didn't have a mid-card title. And I come up with this concept. I was like, look, man, you got all these rookies, you got all these greenhorns that are just biting at the bit, wanting to get that exposure and wanting to feel what it's like to be a champion. So once you start like this little bracket tournament for all the 2-year and less guys, and put a time stamp on how long they can hold the title. So for like the maximum you can hold the title is 6 months, right? Mm-hmm. And the more we talked about it, the more he wanted to do it. I was like, well, this is what you do. You call it the Breakout Champion. Mm-hmm. He left Bad Boy Pro not long after that. Not long after that, Breakout Championship Wrestling is now a thing. So give me my credit, pay me my royalties.
You'd be surprised how much JD been hearing that in our particular group chat we're in.
I give him his credit where credit's due. The promotion is his idea. Building a show of his own that he can write, he can book, and that he can put people in the place that need where they need to be or where he would want them to be. That's great. That's all his. But the name, that's all I want. I want my credit for my name. That was my idea. That was my name. That's all I want. That's all I ask.
That's up to
He can publicly say it one time. I'll be happy.
Hey, that's JD. That's their Ginger. So he's in a
I'll
group.
phone in a minute and tell me that I'm an idiot, but it's okay.
Hey, he's in it. Well, I'm in a group chat with him. So.
Oh Lord. Look, group chats go one of two ways, especially in the professional wrestling business. It's either filled with a bunch of memes and stuff that you don't want to see on a day-to-day basis, so you hit the mute button, or it's 100% business. It's one of the two. It's like our tag team, Legion, like our faction. We have a faction group chat. It's just me, Christian Balor, Hawk Thomas. There's just three of us in it, and it's all business. That's all we do is talk about business. We talk about logos, gear, styles, because we're coming up with this new gear concept, and music, which I just got a notification. Hey, Christian, I'm live, so I'll respond to you in a second. But group chats can either get you in trouble or they can create you money. That's just
how we do, because again my hobby that I do is promos, and that's basically what the group chat it was. It's basically a bunch of my EFED friends and basically just talk about professional wrestling and just goof around. And you'd be surprised of how much creative genius is in that locker room for promos and stuff. And you'd be surprised of how good some of the talent they have in promo work. And like, I know that some wrestlers don't like the idea of e-feds because it's. Oh, did he actually press the wrong button? Okay. I just got a few minutes. There you are. You hit the wrong button.
Yeah, apparently I did hit the wrong button. I was figuring stuff out. Anyways, EFED, you were saying.
Yeah, because I know there's some wrestlers don't like the term of it because it's kind of like they're good wrestlers like their own thing, whereas us wrestling fans pretend to be wrestlers in a way. But
so all right, I'm going to shut that down with like some swift action here. E-feds, be it fans, be it if they want to call you marks, that's fine. Fans being fans will never be against the rules. Yeah. You want to do a promo battle, you want to do ring training, go to a school and get ring training in. But you want to do promo battles, you want to dress up, what do they call it?
Like cosplaying or something like that?
Yeah, right. Impersonation is the greatest form of flattery. Okay. But if there are professional wrestlers out there that have an issue with fans being fans, then they're not wrestlers. I said what I said. Mm-hmm. If you have an issue with a fan being a fan, then this ain't the business for you.
Yeah.
You're not cut out. You have the federation. And the same guys, and I dare somebody to give me some heat because the same guys that have a problem with e-feds are the same guys that are that play fantasy football leagues. Those are the same assholes that in high school were picking on the kids because they were playing Dungeons and Dragons. Fantasy football is Dungeons and Dragons for jocks.
I didn't see it that way. Like I know, like for example, I know you brag about this particular title from my e-fed. I totally players of this one. Like I am proud of this. Like I won that in a promo battle.
It looks like one of the old school IWGP titles.
So this is one it's based off, I believe.
Yeah.
I love it. I just love doing them because it's again I don't know my own strengths, and I did pop my knee out when I was around 17, and I'm afraid to pop it again. And I don't know if I have the money to do the but I know that's part of the job of professional wrestling. You get hurt.
Surgery is more expensive than sitting at home and doing e-fed stuff. So do what you got to do. When people come to me and they're like, "Oh man, well I would have joined the military because, or I didn't join because I had this injury." All right, well I appreciate the sentiment of you wanting to join the military. You know, the guys and girls out here that are kicking ass and wearing the uniform, we do it so that people like you can do what you do for a living or what you do for fun. Well, professional wrestling is no different. I go out here and I still put on a type of uniform. I go out here and I work my ass off in front of crowds and I do my job and I go home. And the people that say, like you just said, you know, you don't want to risk an injury, so you have fun with it. You're
Yeah.
do what fans do. There's absolutely no issue with that. And if anybody has a problem with that, well, you just send them my way and I'll shut their mouth.
Yeah, and also again, I still want to do more focusing on the insider stuff again because we finally got a huge boom period again since the pandemic, and I
Yeah.
try my best to get up and running with the interviews again, the photos, the video content I used to do because everyone knows how good my video work hasn't been, and I want to improve that so well. And
I saw the poster that you tagged me in for this interview. I like that. Like that's just out of nowhere. Is like because I showed it to my wife and I was like, look at this.
yeah,
Look at Brooke. She's making me a poster and like got me this cool design.
yeah, I'm because I've been one of my friends, Cody. He does this with his work as well. Pix art. That's what I do with the editing stuff,
Yeah,
and and it's basically what I do with most of my artwork and posters that I like to practice making. Because just copy a photo, I could just basically change to find a good, perfect background that fits the setting,
yeah.
and I'll go with it. I know that you're a Viking, and like in that with a Viking photo, it's like that fits
Yeah.
perfectly with that one. There was another photo that I saved with the Wrath face paint one. I like that was like one of
But
my favorite one.
I enjoyed that phase of my career, but my face painting skills were trash back then. So I'll every
You left that to the other people basically. You left that to other people.
yeah. I can't see if there's any chat. For some reason, like I don't, it's not allowing me to see if there's like people.
You know, right now earlier, my friend Zelzabar popped in earlier. He wanted to say hi.
So, wait, I mean, it being late at night, I mean, you might have a bunch of people watching, or they'll watch it back and try to say hi.
Yeah,
Uh, he
it
said
happened.
it just now popped up because you clicked on it. It said, "Hi, I'm Z." Hi, Z. Nice to meet you.
Yes, that's the my friend Core George, okay, Zelzabon the Clown or God, he likes to call himself because he is his character. He also has E-Feds. It's basically his character. Like that he finally like got this idea that he is above all.
One above all. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and like he,
With that, with that, uh, I will say this because I know last time I did an interview, I had all the different social media handles and stuff like that. I am taking some time to beef all those back up. I will post a link for my TikTok channel once I get enough videos posted to
yeah,
that to where it means something. But right now, I am not accepting new friend requests on Facebook or Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram. So if any of you people that watch this want to follow me, that's fine. If you're going to hit me up on Facebook, check out the my professional page, which is Ragnarok, and it's just plain Ragnarok right now.
mm-hmm.
Uh, I changed it to that. I did a whole like character phase through. I've been doing the Horse of War for so long, and finally got that cease and desist notification of, hey, there's a certain other person that wrestles in your area that is using the moniker Warhorse. So I was like, you know what, this guy's been on TV. This guy's been
that particular Warhorse. Okay.
Right. I was like, this guy's been on TV. This guy's been here and there. I'm not going to take that away from him. Plus, I'm pushing away from the Horse of War. So I went more towards my roots. I went towards the Viking side. So it's the modern day Viking, Scott Patterson. When I throw the paint on and I go into war mode, that is Ragnarok. That is a whole different personality. Think Finn Balor with the Demon King.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, that seems like a cool concept.
It's just it's a whole different level of aggression. It's a whole different level of fear factor. If you'll watch on Spartan Pro Wrestling's YouTube channel, it's Spartan Pro Wrestling. There's a few episodes that are up since I've made my return. I've been back for 7 weeks now. And since I made my return, the first 3 episodes that I've featured on, I wrestled Onyx. The 2 times I wrestled him, he got the better of me. When I say he got the better of me, he just slid in and got a quick pin on me, 1, 2, 3. But in the 3rd match between me and Onyx, I wore the paint. I wore the mask and took the mask off, had the paint. I was in a different mood, different mindset, different personality. And you can see the change from the first episode I'm featured on to the 3rd episode I'm featured on. Like it's completely different. It's a higher level of rush and aggression. And sometimes I lose myself in the paint and in the mystique of the character.
Yeah. That kind of reminds, again, like I mentioned my friend Cody earlier, that's what he does in EFES as well. He also wants to be a wrestler too. That's why he does a little bit of backyard as a start until he gets the money to do professional wrestling. And he does this gimmick also called Legion himself. I think that's why it's funny. When he does the face paint for Legion, he is a totally different personality when you see when he is outside. And
give some footage.
Okay, I'll maybe find some. Give me real quick.
Tell him to give me some footage. And
I want to mention about sending him some of his matches, but I could show you one of his promos one quick if you don't mind.
Yeah, can you put it up on here?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is I'll go with one of probably his current work that he just posted as his Kurt Brooks first, then Legion, because it was he could show you they compare the two.
I'm taking it he's going more with the biblical sense of Legion, of the demon Legion, for we are many.
Yes. In a way, you can say that. He got his own spin towards it.
Hey, I completely understand it.
He wants to be his own man with that because there's this. It's hard to be original sometimes.
If there's characters or gimmicks or personalities that have been done in professional wrestling, you're going to see repeats. There's 50, 60 different cowboys. There's a spaceman. There's superheroes. There's science fiction characters. There's at least 30 different Vikings.
Yeah.
There's not a single gimmick that hadn't been done.
Oh, my friend Derek. He wants to know who you are. This is my friend Scott Patterson. He just popped in.
I'm gonna Boucher his name. It's Derek Boucher.
Boucher, yes.
Yeah, Bobby Boucher. I am the modern day Viking Scott Patterson. You can catch my Facebook page, Ragnarok. He wants to know who I am. While you're getting this up, I can spin who I am.
Yeah.
Been wrestling for 5 years now. Been in the business for 7. I started as a referee. Got some training under my belt. I've traveled all over, as far west as Louisiana for wrestling, as far north as Detroit. Well, that's kind of like northwest. It's central as far as Central North as Detroit, Michigan. I've been up in the New York and New Jersey area. Combat vet. That's about it.
Yeah. Oh, and I think I found it right here. This is Cody's Kurt Brooks, or Brooks for short.
Bringing back the past, huh? That's your answer for this matter. I was afraid it was going to come to that. You not believing in yourself in your prime right now, well, prime. So you have to put the mask back on and dwell into another spiritual resurrection of what you used to be. Keyword, used to be. Because let's face it, you can put the mask back on, you can put the getup back on all you want, but you're still Darius Jones to me. Now you're just cosplaying what you used to be. You're not the same demonic nightmare that I knew, that the roster knew, that people even before this happened knew. You're still the succubus. The one that needs to be babysit. The one that needs his hand held to get to where he's going so he doesn't get lost in the grocery store by his brother Legion, by his sister Letta. All of those people are there for you so that you don't curl up in a ball and put yourself out of your own misery. We all know you need them. You're going to have to do me proud of being something else. Because we all know that they're going to assume their front row seat up in the rafters watching you fail. Watching you make a fool of yourself, trying to be better than me. You want the guy that doesn't shake hands? Fine. You don't want the old me, though. And that's fine, too, because I don't either. But the guy you're gonna get is the one you wish you never saw. Because let's face it, it ain't gonna be TCO. This is gonna be one you haven't faced yet. You want me? You want him? Well, guess what? He hurts you. You might want to start packing your bags. You might want to start digging your hole. You might want to start praying to whatever God you serve. Because let's face it, your extinction is ticking very fast.
All right, so he's got a good delivery. My only concern is you're going to lose attention after about a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Take that same vignette, because it's one big vignette right now.
Yeah.
If he would take that and break it down into segments, minute and a half each, and give the same energy, same delivery, that would be a good sequence of promos. Because a promo is just a short, sweet, to the point. This is what I'm saying. This is what we're doing. See you then. It's a quick in and out. But if you can do a full-on vignette, that's good delivery, good layout.
That's it. That's his Kurt Brooks side. I'm about to show you one of his Legion promos that he did recently. That's basically what he did on me.
Okay.
Because this is in a place called Happy Man Asylum. And that place is out bunctious crew of misfits, basically. We're in a summer vacation, and we're in a place called the amusement park.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's say a lot of shenanigans goes down in the amusement park.
I like the wordplay on that. Abusement park.
Yeah, the founder is a hard person to describe if you don't know. It's like an inside joke in the hobby. If you don't know, you don't know scenario.
Hey, fair enough. I don't know if I answered Derek's question enough to.
Yeah, he's doing his own thing too because he's also got focusing on other stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Go back to this. This is Legion.
Happy Man Asylum Vacation. The very program that I solidified myself. And the very reason behind it. The Beach Brawl Championship. The very title that I took hostage upon my first ever reign in this business. In these walls, in this brand alone. And I have the opportunity to take it back. Because it was stolen from me by the most maniacal, the most mischievous, the most powerful 9-year-old on the planet. But it seems the title has changed hands. I want what I want. And to get it, I will have to procure that opportunity after going through the likes of Eleanor Lynn, the very woman who and myself have gone through enough together to where the point where I am known as her proverbial thorn in her side. And I could have done much worse to cause that. I still can. But what's it worth? Nothing. And then James Rhodes. I don't know much about you, good sir, and I don't care to sit and talk about it. Case in point, you are in the way, and I will destroy you. But then, the very mystery right here and now. Dark Savior. You and I had a very interesting battle at the Snake Pit. And the result I was not expecting. And you said it yourself when we had our little free time to where we could walk around the hallway and speak to one another that you and I had business to talk about. And like I said, I am a businessman. So, when it comes to this match, you and I can definitely have this conversation that you want. I will be all ears. And then all of us, given the opportunity that we're presented in front of us, will fight to get it. Remember, no matter if it's a vacation, no matter if it's a hiatus, no matter if it's the upcoming season 3, we all still live in Legion's era.
I do like the end of that. That was good. Give me some footage of his wrestling work.
Let's. I think he did. If ever Cody did send me one of his backyard videos, but his when he was still new.
Just tell him to hit me up and send me some of his wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
If he wants to get into a school and like go full time, then that's great. If he wants to, backyard scene ain't for everybody. If he wants to continue doing backyard scene, that's cool too. Professional wrestling is for everyone.
Yeah, I will let Cody know. He's all the way up in Texas, so basically there's a lot of like schools up there in Texas. So basically, might find something.
I'll throw some names out for you: Noah Hendrickson, Conlon Bly, Leonard Gibson. All 3 are in Texas. All 3 are in different areas of Texas. I've actually had conversations with all 3 of them over the last month. Each one of them has a school that you can go to.
Yeah.
If you're in East Texas, Central Texas, North Texas, like Texas is half the size of the United States. But that I can put him in a school somewhere out there, and he'll definitely have a good career start.
Yeah, he's the same age as me too, so that's also he's basically still in early middle 20s.
Yeah, still young. I wish that I had started this business when I was 18, 17 years old, but starting late and getting old in the business is just as fun as growing up in the business. So
yeah. I know that it's always unique to see how much wrestlers have improved since a handful of years now. Like we see a lot more strong style coming into play. We see more different styles coming in.
I cut a promo when I came back. I cut a promo in the ring, and it's like in 8 months of my absence, I've watched the landscape of professional wrestling change so much. In 2020, we had the COVID era, the shutdowns. Wrestling wasn't happening on the indie scene. Wrestling was barely happening on TV, and now that everything's been opened back up, you see a lot of things like strong style that were huge in 17 and 18 and 19.
We got my friend Dylan. He said Dakota could definitely be a good guy. He has the passion.
Yeah, definitely forward him to me. But 2017, 18, and 19, we had guys like Shinsuke Nakamura putting strong style on TV. Adam Cole bringing strong style to the United States as a whole. And then you've got the powerhouses like I mentioned, Brian Cage and Adam Scherer or Braun Strowman, if you want to call him that. You got guys like that are naturally built big and they're huge just because of their size. And then you got the traditional wrestlers like the Revival, FTR. Those guys are like mainstream, but they are also old school wrestling style, like the Marty Jannetty's and the Ricky Mortons, guys like that. That's what they grew up on. Hart Foundation.
Yeah.
They grew up on wrestling, not this era of sports entertainers, but wrestling. But that's also something that I've seen surface over the last year and a half, 2 years now is sports entertainers. Like the World Wrestling Entertainment is just that. It's entertainment, and it's what it's developed to be. And that's all it will be for the foreseeable future. Then you have All Elite Wrestling. It's in the name. All Elite Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Like, there's nothing entertainment about what we do as performers. It's not, yes, it's entertaining to us and we entertain crowds, but that's not what we're doing. We're out there, we're wrestling. We are performers. You can call us entertainers if you want to, but we're performers, we're wrestlers, we're workers, we are fighters and brawlers.
Yeah.
You know, you got strong style, but you got Japanese strong style. Then you have UK strong style.
Yeah.
Guys like Gunther, Walter, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne. That is strong style. That is United Kingdom strong style. Then you've got, what is it, Daniel Bryan and William Regal's faction.
Yeah, and we found out that I don't know if you watched the pay-per-view, but somehow we added a new member to their little faction.
Who'd they add?
Cesaro.
Oh, hang on, I can't remember his other name.
It's his ROH name.
It's weird, yeah. So, all right, cool. So he's part of that, and he's another one that is, they're Americanizing what we know as strong style. But then you have Lucha Libre, which is
Thank you, Mason, for the save.
Claudio, yeah. So now you have Lucha Libre, which has always been huge in Japan. It's always been huge in Mexico and Puerto Rico and places like that. But Lucha is becoming huge in the United States now. Mm-hmm. And then you have, I call it the paranormal mystic arts, the stuff like they were trying to do with Judgment Day with Edge and
so like the Wyatts, the Undertaker, Kane, that kind of stuff.
There are so many indie wrestling gimmicks, monikers, and personalities that are paranormal based right now. It's kind of sickening because it's like, it's a repeat. And then I look at my own gimmick and I'm like, all right, I'm a Viking and it's a repeat. I can't.
It's like you can't win. It's like a can't win situation.
Speaking of repeats, Brooks Jensen is the son of Ben or Bull Buchanan.
Oh yeah, I heard that I see
Ben at VCW.
Yes.
Ben is the youngest WWE space champion.
He is.
In history.
He beat Randy Orton's record, being the youngest champion.
Him and I can't remember his partner's name, saved my life. They are the NXT UK Tag Team Champions. So he is the youngest champion in WWE's history, second generation professional wrestler. And guess what? His little brother started his journey this year. His little brother is now an independent wrestler.
Oh, that's awesome. And
yet another Buchanan. Huge shout out to them. Sherry's got her hands full. That's Ben's mom. She's got her hands full with the whole wrestling family. And that is a superhero in my book.
What do you do? Might have the next generation of Armstrongs?
Well, all right. So there is another generation of Armstrongs. You got Stevie and Steve Armstrong. They're a father-son duo that they're over in Georgia. I hadn't heard anything out of them lately, but Scott Armstrong is still refereeing.
Yep.
We all know about Brad, and we all know about Bullet. Bullet and his wife both passed like shortly after one another, and so I think it was Bullet, and then his wife passed away after that. But there's a generation of wrestlers there that's still like untapped potential. But the Buchanan family, I'm telling you right now, they are going to be unstoppable, and especially with Ben being in the NXT right now. I said it when I was training with him at the Victory.
My friend says it's about making a gimmick whatever it is, your own, be it dark, Viking, beast, or whatever, stand out. That's what I did. I make something completely new, yes, similar in a way. Yes, you have, Mason. Yes, you have.
100%. Like, Ben and his tag partner, they're doing a whole cowboy, like modern day cowboy type deal. Like they're doing a whole TikTok and Tinder and social media dating or whatever you want to call it. That was a gimmick on NXT they were doing. And now, which Ben's always been a powerhouse. When I was training with him at the Victory Academy, when we were still in Mumford, Alabama, I told everybody then, I was like, this kid's going to be on TV and he's going to have a belt around his waist before he's 21.
And how old is he now?
He just turned 19, 18 or 19. Like
Woo, that is young.
no, it's like 18 or 19 because he was in high school last year, graduated high school as a state champion wrestler, like state champion amateur wrestling. And now he's a professional wrestler doing it big on mainstream TV.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And I remember seeing him in VCW back in when I was there for the first time. And I did that boy is huge.
Yeah.
And
I've added 30 pounds in the last 7 or 8 months, but that's also me staying on a gym regimen and then health issues and then get back into it. I've added 30 pounds and it took me a long time to get to where I'm at now. Ben has always been naturally big. I felt so tiny standing next to this kid, and I'm 31 years old. I can call him a kid if I want to.
yeah.
I felt small. I felt like half a man standing next to this kid, and I knew it from the first time I seen this guy that he was going to be a star. And look at him now. He's doing huge things, and this is just the beginning for him.
Yeah, I was there too. Like, no, I have seen his earlier beginnings, basically like a few shows that he was active in. It's like, whoo, and see him now.
Let me say this to Dylan because I going back to his comment about making it your own. Yeah. You're absolutely right with that, and I will not argue your point. It does not matter if you're doing cosplay, e-feds, professional wrestling. If you do anything that's considered in entertainment industry, acting and portraying that, if you're making it your own, then it is original because you're making it original. You're taking that next step to, like with me being the modern day Viking, I don't dress with the fur and the old school tassels and ties because that's not what we wear. Viking is a lifestyle. Viking is a way of life. It's not dressing up, doing cosplay and acting like this barbarian. No, it's actually being the part. To describe a Viking, it's being the best version of yourself humanly possible while being a warrior, being strong for your family, and standing up for what you believe in. What we call a modern day patriot, actually, is the equivalent to being a Viking. The only difference is the patriot, they do it out of love for their country. Viking do it out of love for their families.
Mm-hmm.
So me developing the whole modern day Viking gimmick, I was already living that gimmick. In professional wrestling, another curtain call here. Professional wrestling, when it comes to gimmicks, it's 99% you, 1% character.
Mm-hmm.
So make it your own. Absolutely do that. Make it your own. Whether you're doing it for fun, you're doing it for business, you're doing it for money, that's all on you. But at the end of the day, if you can come home like I do, I come home to my wife, or she goes to shows with me and she comes home with me, sit down, decompress, and think about the day. If you're not satisfied with what you did, then take the next step to find that happiness within your gimmick, within your character, within what you're doing. We probably stayed up till 5 o'clock this morning, 6 o'clock this morning, talking about the difference in choices that I'm making to advance my career in this business. And it's all about building that sense of happiness. don't care what other people think of me anymore. But I still have that sense of body dysmorphia. Like, I don't like how I look, so I'm making the changes necessary to actually enjoy my abilities and like how I look and feel better about myself. And like I said earlier, she's been my biggest supporter through all this. She's seen my struggles, she's seen my success, and it only we only climb the ladder from here. And with Dylan saying what he said, that Dylan's not a pro wrestler, right? He's just EFED.
Yes, he has betting as well. He does different versions. He basically his own person as Mason, but he changes how each mood ways. It's like one time he'd be a godfather, one time he could be a megastar. It's the change in motion of his acting prompts that he has.
That was some Dusty Rhodes level advice that he just threw out there. So I give you credit. 100%.
Gave him a problem with Dusty. I don't know, add more fuel to his ego more.
Throw on the polka dots and do a Dusty Rhodes impersonation. I'll be the first one to hit the like button. Joe Crow cracks me up because he's our full-time ring announcer for Spartan, and I've known him for a long time. He's actually been out for the last few weeks, and he's going to be out for a few more weeks because his wife just had I don't know if I should go into that. She's just had some medical taken care of, so we'll just leave it at that. But he's out with her. He's spending time with his family. But we went up and did a radio interview a couple years ago, me and Jay and a couple guys from Victory, and we did a radio interview in Jacksonville. And while we were in there, Joe Crow goes into a spoken word version of "Grab Them Cakes." And if you hadn't heard it, hadn't seen it, I'll get Joe to share it again. It's hilarious. I laugh every time I see it. But he also, when we do like specialty nights or Halloween or whatever, when he gets to dress up and do his own little impersonations, he has a spot on Dusty Rhodes impersonation.
Oh, like spot on.
Like voice, the actions, the dance, everything. Joe Crow is a skinny Dusty Rhodes. Like it's if I were sitting in a blacked out room, curtains over the windows, and I'm just listening to his voice, it's Dusty Rhodes. Like, he's that good at it.
Yeah. This is him. Another thing. Brooke can always show something of my work. I appreciate the Dusty comment. As I am an EFED guy, I'm more focusing on the acting part, so I'm focusing heavily on character. I could write a book on the Mason persona. Yes, you could.
Dylan, I know I said earlier that my friend requests and DMs and stuff was off limits on my personal page, but you know what? Go on and send me a message. Awesome. It's a lifestyle. I've been Odinistic for, I want to say, about 5 or 6 years now. Like I don't typically talk politics and I don't talk religion when I do podcasts, when I tell people what I believe in. But I've been that way for 5 or 6 years now, and I finally found my own peace of mind when it came to it. But Dylan, add me on Facebook. I'll hook you up with Bobby Matthews. If you actually do want to write a book, Bobby Matthews is the person to talk to because he just wrote a book. I'm giving him a little innocent plug here. It's called Living the Gimmick. It is already on a bestseller list. You can get it at Amazon. You can get it on.
Ready? How long has it been out?
Just a few weeks, actually. It just released a few. I don't even know if it's been a few weeks. It's only been like a couple days. Sometimes
that's called how much fan professional wrestling has been.
Yeah, don't put me on that. And it's a fictional book, but it's wrote based off of certain true events. So he basically wrote this novel, like a thriller novel, based off of events that have lined up. So I've yet to get my copy of it. I talked to him earlier this week, and I'm going to order my copy, get it signed, and read it. And then when I start my podcast back up, he's going to jump on the podcast, and he's going to be one of my first guests, so that he can talk about the book. And he's doing interviews and podcasts and radio shows. He's all over the place for the next few weeks, to be honest with you. But I have faith in the guy. He's a damn good writer. I've seen some of his earlier works that he never got published, because we've talked about it. And he's like, well, read some of this. And, he'll hand me, which he's got all his notes on his phone and stuff, and he'll show me some stuff that he had written. He's a great writer, and he's a brainiac. That's the only way. He's a brainiac.
Yeah. Oh, I think I found one of his stuff right here. You don't mind showing you this. This is basically his Godfather episode. I found it one. So how do you love Mafia? Do you like the mob?
Yeah, I like Gangster Life, Mafia, like Russian mob. Like if it has to do with warfare or gangs, like I'm a history nut.
Oh, even living the gimmick perfect for me is what I do, except for these short little moments. I am definitely sending an invite for sure.
Yeah, I'll link you up, Dylan, with Bobby Matthews. He's a good one to have in your corner when it comes to being, character development, writing, and stuff like that. So if you actually want to write a book, you got the resources now.
Here you go. Here is Godfather Mason.
Who's the one you fought, you killed? It was me. Who did you think you burned away? It was me. Who turned the whole world upside down? It was me. Who changed everything you love? It was me. There is no end for the Godfather, no matter how hard you try. You try to burn me away inside that prison yard, but you couldn't get the job done. Everything burns. The UVC burns. Everything burns. The UVC burns. Burning all away. Burning all away. Burning all away. Burning all away. Everything you held dear. Everything you loved. Everything you controlled. Where is it now, bro? It's gone and you're lost. Line of defense. The kingpin. I put him through so many tables that now he disappeared from UWO forever. All because of me. And I know it's eating you up inside. It's eating you up until there's nothing left. But you still have one thing, Brooks. You still have one little part that I can eradicate forever. And that is your life. And in a strap match, that exactly shall happen. But the judge made it a little bit spicier. The judge made it more interesting for little old me. Because I have to put you through not one, not two, not three, but 4 glass tables, breaking your body apart with every single one. I'll put you through, because I can guarantee you, Brooks, after our match, it is done for you, because that is the wrath of the Godfather. Or is it something else entirely?
Okay. I sense a little Wyndham Rotunda in there, a little, or Bray Wyatt,
Hmm.
a little, early years of Gangrel before he was the vampire Gangrel. Uh, I like the vibe with the noir feel to it with the look. Got a good pace to it. I can't complain about it.
Yeah, it's like that's yeah. At all the personas of clearly Mason is Mason, but all the personality that Mason have for him, Godfather is one of my favorites because of how he portrays it, because how it fits so well. When you think of Godfather, you think of something like that.
Keep and that was Dylan, right?
Yeah.
But as Mason, keep the vest, keep the hat at a tie.
He probably do that next time he does make the Godfather, because he also has a other persona of Mason. It's called the Mega Star. Yeah, that's a whole more egotistical.
Yeah, when you do the Godfather gimmick, don't ignore the shirt. Just the vest, a tie, and the hat, and it's all business, but it's all violence. It plays into it. I like that.
Every version of Mason is different. The voice, delivery, and moments and movements.
Fair enough. Well, check this out. I got a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
I got to jump off here. So, since we got a couple interactions going on, questions, highlights, anything for me in particular that they want to know or that they want to talk about, anything they want to lay out, let's go ahead and knock that type of stuff out now.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to know, and Mason, if you have any like tips you want to see he might give you any more work on for like anything else, that'd be great. I know that like timing, we talked about timing earlier, like how to like keep the timing like mental clock. That's always the hard part.
Well, he doesn't really have a problem with that because he's singing at the beginning of it, and when you're a singer, when you're a musician, you have to keep a tempo, you have to keep a pace in order to be able to talk in rhythm and sing in rhythm. You have to keep tempo and pace. So timing is not really an issue with him. It's like what you were showing me earlier. The overall length of a video, it goes from being a promo to a vignette after 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. So if you're doing a segment or a vignette, then yeah, all right, cool, 2 minutes and longer is fine. But if you're doing a promo, short, sweet, to the point, you can get a lot of information across in a minute and a half. And I try when I'm recording promos to send into like promotions and places I'm wrestling, I love to have a secondary like phone or a device or something with me, or somebody in there like recording with me that can give me a cue when there's, all right, you're at a minute and 15, you're in a minute and 20 or whatever. Throw up a signal and say, hey, you got 10 seconds left before you're out of time. Match timing though, like actually wrestling and having match timing, I ignore the clock because
really?
if I ignore the clock, it doesn't exist, because there's so many people that go out there and we have cues. You'll have a run sheet is like, these are the matches. This match has 8 to 10. This match has 10 to 15. This match has 5 to 10. Whatever that segment calls for, you get a cue time. And when people pay more attention to the time and less attention to the entertainment and the wrestling, that's where you get lost. I ignore the time. I don't even look at the time sheet anymore. I will go out there. My music hits. I go through that curtain, and it's business from that point on. I don't care if I go over time. I'm not shooting TV for a big production company that has a contract behind it that tells me I have to aim for a certain time. I don't have a referee in my ear telling me, all right, you got 30 seconds to go, or you got 2 minutes to go, or I don't have all that, and I don't need that, because independent wrestling is a lot different from production and TV wrestling. So I don't need somebody telling me how much time I got left. I don't need a clock to slow me down, because that's exactly what a clock will do to me. Is if I know I've got 10 minutes to get this match done, then I only go out there with a time limit on my mind, not, all right, well, what all can I get off and entertain this crowd? And what can I do to put my opponent down long enough to get the 3 count or submission? What submission can I apply? What do I need to target in order for my submission to make sense? What body part do I need to target in order to get a knockout? I think strategically, just like a wolf does, I'm going in for the kill. You've seen me wrestle different matches. You've watched my stuff on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. I still think with the same military mentality. I go in and my objective is to win.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, at all costs. Sometimes I do a lot of dumb shit and it puts my body on. I wrestled a show in, I want to say it was Jasper, Alabama. It was one of the first shows that my wife had ever been to with me. And I got this bright idea before I ever went through the curtain. I'm jumping off the top turnbuckle on somebody. And I sent her a text message. I said, I'm about to do something really stupid. And that's where I left it at. I didn't send her anything else. I'm doing something really stupid. Pay attention. So get out there. It was a multi-man tag match. I think it was like an 8-man tag match. It came down to Antonio Garza and Greg Dotson in the ring. And I think it was Greg Dotson. I don't remember because I was climbing the turnbuckle. Everybody was on the floor, and I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing something stupid. So I climbed up the top turnbuckle and jumped off of it. Antonio Garza ended up picking up the win for our team. So maybe what I did helped. But before I walked through that curtain, that I was going to do something really dumb. and it was either they were going to catch me and I was still going home safe that night, or they were just going to step out of the way and I'm eating the floor and we're going to the hospital. So I'm doing something stupid. Now in my old age, I've gotten more cautious about the big bumps and the dumb stuff, as I like to call it. If I have any doubt in my mind that I'm, going home that night, like if there's any doubt to it, then I will sit back in the back a little bit longer than I have to, and contemplate doing that specific move or doing that specific spot or segment. And there have been times where I've scrapped an entire idea out of my mind. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing that tonight. I'm not doing it. I used to do a certain finisher. Like I did the Bobby Lashley rolling spear, and just one night it popped in my mind. I gotta not doing spear tonight. Not happening. I've done it. I've done it so many different times that it's just like fluid motion now.
Mason said, in the moment, things are great, even if it's be dumb. So it's completely understandable.
You ask yourself 2 questions, and it doesn't matter if you're going to do a dumb spot or not. You ask yourself 2 questions. Number 1, is what I'm about to do going to prevent me from going to work at all?
Mm-hmm.
Because I have to provide for my family, and if what I'm about to do is going to cause me to not be able to go to work on Monday, I'm not going to do it. Mm-hmm. 2, are they paying me enough to do this dumb shit? Those are the 2 questions that you need to ask yourself before you do something stupid. Am I getting paid enough, and will I be able to go to work on Monday? That's it.
Yeah, that's always one of the concern. Like, luckily, I only work 3 days at the end of the week, like Wednesday through Friday.
Yeah.
So basically, if I did do wrestling, basically I do have a healing period, like for those few days, then go back to work because those are.
Well, see, now I'm back on night shift, so my Monday starts at 4 p.m. on Monday, whereas other guys are on day shift and their days are starting 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I've got from Saturday night until Monday afternoon to get my recovery out of the way. And if I know that the next morning I'm going to be hurting, or if I know I'm going to be bruised and battered up, I'll take a couple extra self-care moments before I go to bed to take some Tylenol for a headache, or to drink some extra water because I'm dehydrated, or if I'm bruised and I'll eat some type of protein based food like my Action Sledge supplements. I'll drink a shake, or I'll eat a peanut butter sandwich, or eat something that's got some protein in it, to help recovery. And it's just, I can't do a lot of the things that I used to do because of the things I've battled with my health and my weight gain and size that I am now. I don't do a lot of the lucha libre stuff that I used to do. Like I rarely pull off the Cody Rhodes kick, the disaster kick. More I used to do it every single match. Now I may hit it in a blue moon now, but it's you add weight and you become less aerodynamic.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But
I do know that like there are like wait to hold up moments like in the back, like should I done this? Like but there's always that what if scenario, like
yeah. Well, I mean, it's like he just said, like in the moment, you don't hesitate, because if you hesitate, somebody's getting hurt.
Yeah, I think it's like they keep moving. If one slip up, is the whole confronting like.
And I'm not an unsafe worker. I'm not dangerous in the aspect of like I'm going to end somebody's career because of doing something stupid. If I end up doing something stupid, it's my body and my career that's on the line, not anybody else's. I'm not going to ask somebody else to take a bump that I wouldn't take myself. Like, that's the reason when I help people, like if I go into any type of training, like if I go to a promotion, they have guys in the ring training, and if I'm stretching out or working out and I get asked questions, if I show how to do a specific maneuver, I also show how to get out of that maneuver. That way, if you're ever in a situation where you're uncomfortable with taking a move, then it's like, well, this is how you get out of it. It's like if somebody's jumping off the top rope and I think that they're going to break my ribs when they land on me, I'm rolling out of the way. Call me chicken if you want to. I will get out of the way. I will watch you crash and burn before you break my ribs.
Like we talked about like earlier, we talked about like big men. I know we just almost talked about like we're talking about Big Smooth, like that man. I don't know if he's still around still or something, but he was a huge rising star as well as same thing as Buchanan.
Yeah, he's still very, very relevant too. He's doing stuff up in North Alabama. He's got a lot of South Carolina and Tennessee bookings. He's all over the place. I hadn't seen him since I made my return to wrestling, but it's coming. I'll eventually have to share the ring with him again. Smooth's one of those guys where if I look on the card and I see his name in front of mine, I know I'm going to have a good night. It's going to be fun. It's going to be entertaining. The crowd's going to love it. I'm going to enjoy it. And that's what we need in professional wrestling. We need to enjoy what we do. And there's a lot of guys that are in this business, and they have lost sight of that enjoyment. They've lost sight of the pleasure in being a professional wrestler. And it makes me sad to see that. But then you got guys that are, old as Moses, like Mike Jackson, and he still goes out there.
Yeah, I remember seeing a handful of matches in person, and I was like, the dude just done an old school. Like,
that was ropes from corner to corner all the way around.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, you like.
I know 20-year-olds that can't do that. But
that's crazy seeing him. Like, I see him feud with Zach Mosley, and he had a feud with him, and I was like, dude, you gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, Zach's another one that if I look on a run sheet and I see Zach's name in front of mine, I know it's gonna be a fun night.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen a Zach match live, but I know that he's wrestling in Daytona coming up. I think Daytona or somewhere in that area, part of Florida.
Yeah.
I might head up down there, but again, this depends on the transportation because that's another thing on my bucket list. I need to learn how to drive, but today's economy is gas expensive.
By the time you get in a car and get your license, the car is going to be driving themselves.
Probably.
Next generation stuff. Don't. Like I said, I don't talk politics. I don't talk religion.
No. Well, I'm not. Well, I'm not talking about because I'm just saying in general. But like, I do want to find a way to do get a drive and try to do it, like improve my life as well. Like I said about doing this again, try to go see more shows, and like I said earlier last night, trying to break in my mind. I still have self doubts on asking wrestlers for doing this, but right now I'm back to asking the guys that I know that probably do know me, like knowing that I'm respectful. I love this business inside and out, and I don't do any disrespect for the indies promotions I've seen or hear or watch. I just enjoy it.
So I'll go ahead and do you a favor, and I'll throw some names out there, and hopefully they bite the hook and they message you and jump on this. Hog Thomas, I'm gonna call you by your legal name. Derek, get your ass on here and do an interview. Christian Balor, get your ass on here and do an interview. Big Smooth, have you interviewed Big Smooth yet?
Long time, like short time with VCW, like do like a quick one few spots.
Let's see who we've already mentioned. Koloff, you need to get on here.
Yeah. Because we need more Koloff.
James, you need to jump on here.
Who is it?
Hoss Jensen, Aaron James, the Southern.
Oh, Southern Wrecking Crew. Yes, I love James. I interviewed him before when he was with the Emerald Empire. He was James and God, he's gonna hate me for forgetting his name. The one half of the Emerald Empire, Capone. There we go. Because I will never forget Capone because one spot in Atmore Wrestling, he stole my phone and recorded the match. We gave his tag team partner James facing Zero, but when Zero got upper hand, he did this to himself.
Yeah. But definitely, you get all these guys, and I'll tag in comments or whatever I have to do to get some of these people on here. Mm-hmm. Half the Spartan locker room, you can get guys like even Scott Resner. Resner is he's no longer managing or wrestling; he just does commentary from time to time. But he's another one to talk about doing writing books, Dylan. But Dylan Cook, he's part of the Irish Brotherhood at Spartan. You can get Dylan Cook on here; he'd be a good one to talk to. I bet I could get Tyson Creed back on here.
Oh yeah, and I remember I want to relive that time frame of how I came to Georgia. Like that's about the second time ever in my life going back to Georgia, and all because of a bet. Yep. I did one rule in professional wrestling that you don't bet on wrestling, and guess what I did? I did that messed up mistake.
Cost you some cookies, didn't it?
No, because he's calling him the king of professional wrestling.
Yeah, king of the cruiserweight.
Yeah. And then I gave the whole bunch, the whole crew a bunch of cookies.
Yeah.
And I love the way we did your little live feed, and you said that you were trying to attack each other like a whole horde of wild animals trying to get the cookies.
I think I only ate one of those cookies that night. I was so mad.
It's Publix cookies too, dude. You missed the Publix cookies. And they were chocolate chip.
So check out SpartanWrestling.com, SpartanProWrestling.com. You can find about Spartan and Gadsden. Spartan Pro Wrestling on YouTube. You can see all my most recent matches that I've been a part of. I will be building a YouTube channel to go along with everything because my wife, she videos most of my matches, takes photos and stuff like that. I will either be uploading matches or I will be uploading photo highlight reels. I don't do a bunch of editing, so it's just gonna be cut and dry matches on the channel.
Mhm.
I ain't out here trying to get the platinum play button or nothing like that. But
Yeah.
you can find me on Instagram. I think it's still Scott Patterson _ demo crew. You can find me on Facebook under Ragnarok. And if you can't find me there, I'll send you a link. That's cool. Check me out any chance you get. AxonSledgeSupplements.com if you need cool stuff like this. This is the one of their brand new Deadlifts and Gummy Bears hoodies.
Oh, that's cool.
Cosmic hoodie in the back.
Oh, that's cool.
It was on AAR, allamericanroughneck.com. They're sister companies. They're all about the same people. Sponsored athlete discount code TPAT10, TPAT10, to get you 10% off, including 10% off on shipping.
That's not bad.
And not least, please tag them in the video. If I have to tag them in the video, I will. Blacktop Mojo, I want to thank those guys. They're on tour right now. They're out in Texas. They're doing a tour out west right now. They're Texas-based rock / blues band. They do some covers. Great music. Never heard of them. Go online. Go to YouTube. Search them up. Big shout out to those guys for granting me permission to use Burn the Ships as my new interest theme for the Modern Day Viking. We're going to be using another one of their tracks for the tag team for the faction as well. We have not come to a decision on that yet, but I will let everybody know as soon as possible.
Yeah. I think last time we mentioned about theme songs. I remember when I first heard the new religion theme song, I straight out tried to find the music video for it. I've been listening to that song nonstop since I found the video. And I was like, okay, now I see why they picked the theme song for it. It fits it so well.
Inspiration too.
Yeah.
Josh Jones is the lead singer of Be It the Means. I still jam out to Blue Collar. I still jam out to every one of their tracks. But little known fact, which I think you already know this, Josh Jones is my second cousin. So, music's in the family. I reached out to Blacktop Mojo to use their music. Josh has been working on writing the last year or so. Josh, Nathan, and Casey are all about to get back together, go back on the road, and put out another album. So,
that's great.
Looking forward to that. I will share it as soon as they get it posted. They're going to do, I think Josh, last time I talked to Josh, he said they were going to do an EP and release it somewhere around July or August. So maybe sometime soon they'll have just a freebie pop up. In 7 years of me doing this and 5 years of it being wrestling, like actually in the ring, I have access to 9 different bands and their music and permission to use their music without copyright signature or getting flagged for it. I'm thankful for being, brave enough to reach out and ask these bands and these high level performers if I can use their stuff. The band Nothing More, I was using one of their tracks last time I came down to Mobile to AWA, and when I came down to Diamond and AWF, I was using Do You Really Want It by Nothing More. Got permission from them to use that. Still have permission to use it if I wanted to. But it's just like every other type of brand or logo or band and man, like anything's got a copyright on it. When you have permission for it, you can use it. And as long as you're not trying to reproduce it and sell it, then it's free game.
Yeah.
You just have to have those permissions in place before it goes to YouTube or before it goes to social media. That way, when it does hit that and they get flagged, it says, hey, the band gave them permission, or hey, the Axon Sledge gave them permission to represent that. My logos and stuff like that are custom done. We have copyrights for that. Just because the people that draw our stuff up, when you pay them for the logos or the designs, you're paying for that copyright automatically. So I don't get flagged for stuff like that.
Yeah, that's great thing to know, and that's good thing to know nowadays because it'll help out with YouTube, and so they don't have the YouTube promoters won't get
it'll actually help out with your e-fed stuff too. So if some of your guys and girls want to reach out to a band or to a musician, or if they're not really good with photo and video editing, they can reach out to somebody that does it professionally and say, hey, I want to use your product. This is what I'm using it for. It's just for entertainment purposes. I'm not reselling, not making money off of it. 9 times out of 10, that person that owns that copyright will message you back and say, well, this is the steps you need to take, or you need to email so-and-so, or sure, it's cool. The worst thing you can get is a no. Thank you for your time. Have a good day. As long as you're keeping it professional, then 110% of the time you are doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, you see my stack of clothes here. Like, just about everything I own is Axe and Sledge.
Hey, you see half of my half of my closet full of wrestling shirts. Speaking of, I almost forgot about that story. I almost forgot to mention. Oh, that's a nice one. I almost forgot about that story. There's Scott.
Roughneck in the back, down the center of it.
Oh, I might buy one. I got paid a lot this week. I might get it by one of those shirts.
This one's on All American Roughneck, or allamericanroughneck.com. And there's 3 different designs that are like this. It's the same shirt, just different colors. There's one that's like a neon yellow. There's one that's the black and white one like I have here. And there's a red and white one, I want to say. I haven't been on there in a couple of days. So my next Axe and Sledge or AAR order is definitely going to be a supplements order. And then I change it up. I'll do a supplement order, and then I'll do an apparel or hoodie or shirts. I know it's like 100 degrees outside right now, but I wear hoodies. That's cool.
I wear flannel. You see what I mostly wear. I wear mostly flannel or something in my jacket as well, because some of the places I hang out on is just so cold.
Get that Red Hot Chili Pepper shirt right now.
Yeah. I was tempted to find my new religion shirt because to bring up that old story, because the running joke that has been for that particular shirts.
Like 4 months.
Right? And that's the other reason why I went up to Georgia and started doing that bet with Creed. It was getting my dang shirt.
Oh, man. When I do get the store, I'm going to update the Store Frontier page at some point in time, or create a new one, rather, for my stuff, and then I'll have the faction stuff on there. But Hawk actually is in the process of making our new gear. He does seamstress, like he makes gear for himself, and then when we found that out, we're like, you're making our gear now, so he's doing that. And then
make him the gear monkey.
that's pretty much what it's going to be. Me and my wife been talking about getting some stuff to make T-shirts, like the machines, like a Cricut or sublimation machines or whatever. But for the time being, my sister, she has a sublimation machine and a Cricut that she just got. So we're probably going to contract her to do some shirts for us that we can sell as merchandise at the shows. That way we're like, oh, you want a shirt? Here, go to the website. But for people further out, like, you guys down in the Gulf, or you guys that are out in Texas or up north or whatever, it would be easier for you guys to just order a shirt and have it shipped than it would be for us to make one and bring it to a show. Because the likelihood of me seeing a lot of people that are going to see this in person is very slim right now.
Yeah, because we basically been talking to my friend Dylan. He lives all the way in the Netherlands, so you just maybe just made a new fan all the way to the Netherlands.
Dylan's in the Netherlands?
Yes.
That's crazy, because we was talking like the North Pagan stuff a while ago and the Odinistic stuff. Yeah. When I was in the military, I traveled all over, and I've seen places that are kind of like that, and like Shannon, Ireland, and the UK, but it was all under military contract. I've always wanted to go to the Netherlands, and I've always wanted to go to Norway, just to go. So we may be in contact. Get it right.
Yeah, I always want to go. Also, go to out. Me and a lot of my hobby that I do. I meet a lot of different people from different countries. It's the same thing how I love when I went to Romania. You meet people in different countries, but talking to them and seeing different cultures and hearing different cultures is kind of fun, and I just love it. The food, yes.
Dude, that's my vice. That's my drug, my addiction. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, you
find
need to find my other friends, also from the Netherlands, named William. He's a chef in the Netherlands, and he sometimes shows us food of his creations that he made in his restaurant he work at. And it's the most beautiful artwork, like out of food. It was like, you sure this is food, not art? The way how it looks.
it's amazing. Like I'll go to shows and I'll meet people from like all over the world, and the first question, as soon as I know they're not like American born, the first question I ask is, "What do you cook in your country that I can learn how to make over here?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Listen,
one way to learn the stuff and nice and simple.
yeah, I've got to jump off of here. You know, get
Yeah.
this baby, and she's already went to bed too. So it's like you need to wind down, get ready for.
Yeah. So one more time, you want to explain what's your next matches or any shows are coming up? More of the rundown.
So for the foreseeable future, every Saturday in Gadsden, Alabama, I've been working Spartan Pro Wrestling, but here soon, Legion is going to branch out, not to be confused with your Legion.
Yeah.
We're going to branch out and start taking bookings in other states and other places here in Alabama. Details on that will be up on my Ragnarok page, and we're actually working on a Legion page as well.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as seeing me wrestle, YouTube is your best friend when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
If you need advice or contact information for wanting to go to training or anything like that, just feel free to direct message me. I'll hook you up with somebody in your area. Big shout out to all the sponsors and all the people that's helped me get to where I'm at, like Action Sledge and Blacktop Mojo.
Even I got to sponsor you one time. You were my first sponsor. It's for the Insider. And I was like, you know what?
A couple times. You sponsored for the Battle Zone tournament for the junior heavyweight title.
Yep.
And then you sponsored some of my gear to get made too. So
yeah. Yep. If that does not prove how much of a loyal fan I am for this business, I don't know what is. I really can't.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hop off.
Yep. Yeah, I'm about to end it. Everyone, this is Scott Patterson. He is. If you remember, you see him every Saturday night at Sparta Wrestling.
Spartan Pro Wrestling.
Spartan, rock on and peace, love, and rock and roll, baby.